Welcome to Minor Highway and Highway Court Hotel, where comfort meets convenience. We pride ourselves in offering top-notch conference facilities, perfect for your business meetings, seminars, and events. Our state-of-the-art conference rooms are equipped to cater for all your professional needs. Enjoy a refreshing hot shower in our self-contained rooms, each featuring modern amenities and a comfortable setup. For your convenience, we offer lift lodging facilities, making access to all floors easy and hassle-free. Indulge in our delicious snacks and savor the flavors of fresh seasonal fruits and vegetables. Quench your thirst with our freshly squeezed juices made to order for your enjoyment. Book with us today. Call 0722-827-700 or...
Honorable Speaker, we have had a thorough public participation, one which Kenyans spoke their feelings about the finance bill. Honorable Speaker, Kenyans talked to the committee. Kenyans raised their voices about contentious issues in the finance bill. And those issues were captured by the committee, a committee that includes members from the minority and also includes members from the majority. And Kenyans had, the committee had, and they made changes to the finance bill. Honorable Speaker, the House itself has, in third reading, the power to make amendments to the proposals that came from the Treasury. So therefore, Honorable Speaker, at this time to say that we reject the finance bill in total is to reject the mandate that you are given by the people. The people gave you mandate to debate, hear, approve or not approve, and that is the process that we are undertaking, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, the budget created a deficit. And in dealing with a deficit for a budget, there are three ways you can look at: reduce the budget, borrow, or tax. Those are the three things that you need to do when you're dealing with a budget for you to finance a budget. You either borrow, you either reduce the budget, or you tax to be able to finance a budget. All these measures are available to this House, Honorable Speaker, to make a decision on how we go forward. But Honorable Speaker, allow me also to say, did the committee listen? Yes, the committee listened on the proposals that were brought from Treasury. And Honorable Speaker, it is important to note that the proposals that were made, the proposals that we had from the Treasury did not go unchanged by the committee, Honorable Speaker. And I would like, Honorable Speaker, to just note a few things. The proposal on 16% VAT on bread was dropped. And there's a proposal in the report that be dropped. That is a win for Kenyans, Honorable Speaker, that now we will not have the 16% raise on bread in the finance bill. That has been dropped, and Kenyans are safe. They can have bread, and Mui and the children in school can have bread at less than the proposal of 16%. Honorable Speaker, we had noise about the motor tax, 2.5. Honorable Speaker, it is important to note that the committee listened, and when the committee listened, they dropped the 2.5 on motor vehicle because the committee listened, and now Kenyans do not have to pay that motor tax. Honorable Speaker, the eco tax that had been proposed by Treasury, the committee looked at it, studied it, and said we can only levy eco tax on imported finished products. But for products that are manufactured in this country, they will not attract the eco tax that had been proposed by Treasury. Honorable Speaker, that is a win for Kenyans, which we might celebrate as a house, because the committee listened. Honorable Speaker, there was a lot of taxation on the payslip, and the people who had loans were even suffering. But what has this committee done in terms of those things? They have reorganized the taxation within a payslip, and now there'll be more money on people's pockets from their payslip because the committee listened, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, there are many gains in this report, not on the finance bill, but on the report of the committee, which is what will eventually go into making the Finance Act. So, Honorable Speaker, as we move forward, Honorable Speaker, and I'm sure many other people will look at the many issues that Kenyans have gained, but I also want to look at the budget, Honorable Speaker. Today, members of this House, CDF, will have more money than before because it was proposed in the budget and it is going to be financed in this finance bill, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Opiyo and I here celebrated the other day that political parties' money has actually been returned into the budget. And he was very ecstatic that there is money for political parties. But I asked him that question, but that money must come from somewhere. That money has to come from the finance bill, which will finance the money in the political parties. Honorable Speaker, the women.
What's the point of order, Minority Leader?
You know, Honorable Owen Baya was doing fairly well until he mentioned my name in respect of political parties fund. Honorable Speaker, you know, political parties fund is not a favor to anybody or to any political party. And as a matter of fact, the threshold set out in the law has not been met in this regime. And therefore, I want to ask you, Honorable Speaker, to compel Honorable Baya to withdraw those very unfortunate remarks and apologize profusely, not only to me, but to the House and Kenyans in general. Thank you.
Owen.
Thank you very much. It is very true that the budget has money for political parties. And that money will come from a source. And that source is the finance bill. So, Honorable Speaker, I am still within my limits of speech. Honorable Speaker, I also want to say this. We have a budget that we must finance. We have a budget that we must get money to ensure resources go to Kenyans, that services go to Kenyans, that development go to Kenyans, that we have to pay debt, the 1.0-something trillion of servicing the debt. We have to have money to do that. And one way is to raise money through the finance bill. Honorable Speaker, we have to make hard decisions for our country in order to make it forward. But if we want to be good people, Honorable Speaker, I read somewhere that if you want to be a good person, please go and sell ice cream. But if you want to be a leader, you have to be here and make hard decisions.
Your time is up. Your time is up. You must make the hard decision to sit down. Honorable members, before I give the next member, allow me to acknowledge 2 schools in the public gallery. Kibirisha Boys Secondary School from Bori, Meru, and Tiga High School from Mara, Tharaka-Nithi. On your behalf and on behalf of myself, we welcome them to the House of Parliament. Mama Zamzam.
Asante sana Mheshimiwa Spika, na mimi niweze kuchangia mswada huu wa Finance Bill 2024. Mheshimiwa Spika, Mheshimiwa Spika, Wakenya wameamka, na mimi nataka niwaambie wenzangu ambao wako kwenye serikali.
Wakenya, honorable members, as Zamzam speaks, seeing the screen, I may be persuaded to go to 5 minutes, but let's see how we go.
Asante sana Mheshimiwa Spika. Mimi nataka niwaambie wenzangu kuwa Wakenya wameamka. Mheshimiwa Spika, ile budget ama hii finance bill ilivyowekwa Mheshimiwa Spika, kuja kuweka mkate, edible oils na vitu ambavyo vinamgusa kama vile magari, Mheshimiwa Spika, ile ilikuwa ni strategy ya kuweza kuwaondoa Kenya katika ile shetani kubwa ambayo imebaki ndani ya hii bill, Mheshimiwa Spika. Mheshimiwa Spika, Wakenya wamemakinika, ukiwaona wanaingia barabarani wenyewe bila baba, jua kuna shida. Na Mheshimiwa Spika, mimi nataka niseme hivi. 2023 finance bill. Sisi tunasema hapa kuwa Wakenya wamesikizwa maamuzi yao, wamesikizwa kauli zao kwenye kuchangia katika huu mswada, Mheshimiwa Spika. Lakini ikumbukwe kuwa, ifahamike kuwa 2023 finance bill Wakenya walikataa kabisa housing levy, lakini ililazimishwa kwao, Mheshimiwa Spika. Kwa hiyo tusije kudanganywa kuwa kuna vitu vilivyoko humu ndani ya bill kuwa Wakenya wamekubali. Mheshimiwa Spika, sijui yule aliyokuwa akipanga mambo ya mkate alikuwa anafikiria kitu gani, Mheshimiwa Spika. Lakini mimi nitasema hivi. Naangalia ile pesa ambayo inaweza kukusanywa, ambayo imekadiriwa kukusanywa, naangalia na matumizi yake, Mheshimiwa Spika. Wakenya wamefinywa. Na mimi nataka niwaambie, hata paka ukimpiga paka ukamfungia ndani ya nyumba, paka atakung'ata. Imefika wakati sasa Wakenya wanaanza kutufuata sisi na messages zinatumiwa mpaka rais, Mheshimiwa Spika. Hii Kenya watu wameamka, Mheshimiwa Spika. Na mimi nataka niwaambieni, tutacheka leo, wengine wanasikia raha, wengine mmetumwa mpige yes, lakini kumbukeni, hii bill ambayo mnaifanya saizi si yenu tu, itashika vizazi vijazo. Itafika wakati wewe hauko bungeni, itafika wakati wewe mtoto wako, mama yako, ndugu yako hana njia, hana uwezo, itamfinya. Kwa hiyo tukitunga sheria sisi tunaangalia sheria, tunatunga sheria ya kuweza kusaidia ama ni sheria ya kuweza kumvunja Mkenya. Mheshimiwa Spika, naangalia bajeti ambayo imewekwa katika ofisi ya rais, Mheshimiwa Spika. Ukiangalia State House imewekwa karibu bilioni 8, 7.9 billion. Ukiangalia Office of the President imewekwa 4.5 billion. Ukiangalia ofisi ya naibu wa rais imewekwa 4.5 billion. Haya matumizi hayajaonyesha anaenda kufanya kitu gani, Mheshimiwa Spika. Wakati ambapo pesa ambazo zinakwenda kwa mwananchi unapata amewekewa pesa duni kabisa. Ukiangalia upande wa health, Mheshimiwa Spika, wanaingiza na mkono huu wanatoa 16% kwa cancer patients. Sisi tunataka kupigana na saratani. Kina mama wanaugua saratani, watu wa maskini ambao hawajiwezi, huu ugonjwa umewafikia. Ikiwa sisi tunaongeza mpaka kwa magonjwa, tunaongeza tuna tax ugonjwa wa Kenya, wabunge wenzangu, tunaelekeza wapi taifa hili? Pale ndani ya State House mkate peke yake na maziwa na nini, ile bilioni 13 mimi naiangalia, nasema jamani, tuoneni haya. Mgala muweni, haki yake mpeni. Huyu ambaye tunamnyang'anya hizi pesa kwenda kufund vitu vya starehe ni mtu ambaye analia kwa Mungu kila siku asubuhi akiamka, Mwenyezi Mungu, natoka ndani ya nyumba yangu, nishukishie riziki kwa mikono yangu niweze kulea watoto wangu. Lakini sisi katika ile ruzuku yake tunaenda kukata. Kwa mfano, Mkenya anatoka nyumbani, mshahara wake ni 50,000, Mheshimiwa Spika. Katika 50,000, Mheshimiwa Spika, 24,000 yote inakatwa na serikali, Mheshimiwa Spika. Hapo hiyo ni katika tax peke yake. Mara hii pay as you earn, sijui nini, kisha anabaki na 29,000. 29,000 kiangalia, Mheshimiwa Spika, ana stima ataka kulipa, ana maji ataka kulipa, ataka kununua unga, ataka kupeleka mtoto shule. Mheshimiwa Spika, Wakenya wamechoka. Wakenya wamechoka.
There's a point of order from the committee chairman.
Asante sana Mheshimiwa Spika. Nimesikia rafiki yangu Mheshimiwa mbunge wa Mombasa akisema kwamba kuna kodi ambayo imewekwa kwa wagonjwa wa saratani. Na ningetaka kwamba anieleze ni kipengele kipi katika huu mswada ambao unaongea kuhusu hiyo, kwa sababu Mheshimiwa Spika, haya mambo ya kumisinform ama kuwadanganya Wakenya kwa mambo kama hayo kwa sababu ya siasa kabisa ni makosa, haifai kufanyika.
Mama Zamzam, that is a fair challenge. Order.
Ngoja.
Order. That's a fair challenge. Can you point out which...
Ngoja nipe nafasi Mheshimiwa Spika, nitaiangalia kisha kipengee mahali kiko. Lakini kiko, Mheshimiwa Spika, nipigieni kelele, mimi sijali, nitawaambieni ukweli, Wakenya wanahangaika. Mmekuja hapa, mmelipwa pesa, mmepewa pesa nyingi kuja kuwa Wakenya katika bunge hili.
Order. Order, honorable members, order. Order, Mama Zamzam. Order, Honorable Zamzam. Order, Honorable Zamzam. Order, KJ. Order, members. We were doing so well in terms of decorum and production from members until we reached here. Mama Zamzam, order, standing order 91. Every member is responsible for the accuracy of any facts which you allege. And the Speaker doesn't get involved in your allegations until you are challenged. When a colleague challenges you, the easy thing is not to raise your voice. The easy thing is to say, this is found in clause this and that of the bill. And it ends there. That is how you discharge your responsibility. If it is not in the bill, then the challenge becomes legitimate, and the decent thing to do is to withdraw and move on with your other contributions. Order. The Speaker needs no assistance, Honorable Kamket. Honorable Zamzam, if it is in the bill, point out to the chair of the committee. If it isn't, just withdraw and move on with your other contributions. Order. We are going to have orderly debate. Mama Zamzam.
Asante sana Mheshimiwa Spika. Nafikiri nimechanganyikiwa na ile import duty na hii ya hospitali. Mimi nataka niwaambie kitu moja. Mheshimiwa Spika, nimekubali.
Kama haiko uiondoe alafu uendelee.
Haiko Mheshimiwa Spika, lakini pesa ambazo wanafanya za matumizi ni nyingi. Haiko, nimekubali.
Order, Mama Zamzam. Order, honorable members. Take your seat, Mama Zamzam. Order, Mama Zamzam. Order. Order. Order, Mama Zamzam. Mama Zamzam. Order. Mheshimiwa Zamzam, wewe ni mheshimiwa na mama wa heshima, na mimi nakuheshimu sana. Wewe huongea Kiswahili sanifu na huwa unasema mambo yanayoeleweka. Kuanza kuchibisana na wenzako across the floor ni kushusha heshima yako. Sasa nakwambia, ondoeni ile ulisema kwamba haiko na uendelee na mambo mengine. Kubishana na kupiga kelele haina faida kwa hii chumba. Order. Order. Honorable Mbadi, order. Order. Honorable Mama Zamzam, withdraw and proceed. Honorable Mbadi wants to mislead you. Just withdraw and proceed. Order, Honorable Mbadi. Give Mama Zamzam the mic.
I withdraw Mheshimiwa Spika.
Well done. Now proceed.
Sasa na proceed. Lakini Mheshimiwa Spika, watu wakija hii bunge kila mtu ametoka kwao amepigiwa kura zake Mheshimiwa
Just
Spika.
proceed without complaint.
Mimi hata nitalalamika kwa sababu amenitukana ule mzee na nywele nyeupe. Mheshimiwa Spika, mimi naangalia katika hata cooking stove ya kupikia wameongeza 3%. Wameongeza 3%. Naangalia motorcycle, Mheshimiwa Spika, wale wa mabodaboda ambao walipromisiwa mambo itakuwa shwari, tutatenga, tutafanya hivi, bodaboda wameongezewa 3% katika custom values. Mheshimiwa Spika, hawa pia hata tairi ya gari ya bodaboda ya wheelbarrow, tairi ya kushika wheelbarrow, mulikuwa mnaweka tairi wheelbarrow iko na tairi. Wacha kwa fuel, kama mmeongeza shilingi 9, mumeongeza kila mahali. Kama mmeongeza shilingi 9 kwa mafuta, mumeongeza bidhaa zote. Mheshimiwa Spika, mimi nataka kuambia mgala muweni haki yake mpeni. Nyinyi mlidanganya wananchi, mkasema bodaboda, mama mboga mtakuja kuwasaidia katika jumba hili. Mmepewa 100,000.
Order. Yes, Honorable KJ. What's your point of order?
Mr. Speaker, I'm standing on a standing order that provides for a member to be relevant when they are debating. Mr. Speaker, the honorable member has been on a tirade, misinforming this House and by extension misinforming the nation on gossip that has been peddled on social media and headlines. This gossip is what she has crept into the House, Mr. Speaker. And Mr. Speaker, the point...
Take your seat. Honorable members, order. Order, honorable members. I want us to have decorum in the House. And from now going forward, when you stand on a point of order, tell me which standing order you are standing on. And Honorable Zamzam, the etiquette of debate is such that when a colleague says point of order, you immediately resume your seat. You don't lose your time. You resume your seat, you hear the point of order, and then you proceed. What you are doing is wrong because the moment you hear point of order, you are raising your voice and menacing your colleagues with fingers and so on. It is not good. Finish up your contribution. Your time is almost up.
Asante sana Mheshimiwa Spika. Mimi nimalizie nikisema, pengine nikiongea na sauti hii ndio Wakenya watanielewa. Mimi nataka niwaambie Wakenya, mumeuzwa na serikali mliochagua. Mkate, edible oil na gari ilikuwa ni mchezo wa drama. Sasa shetani yuko ndani ya bili, pesa wamejilimbikizia ya starehe, ya kufanya mastarehe zao. Wakenya mmesaulika, sisi upande wetu tunasema mtusaidie kujisaidia. Asante sana Mheshimiwa Spika.
Mr. Speaker, I stood up on a point of order that I was wanting for you to superintend over, standing order number 91, that a member should be responsible for the statements they make on the floor. Mr. Speaker, all the matters that she has prosecuted do not exist in the finance bill that we are debating. She's talking about tires. She's talking about wheelbarrows. She's talking about issues that have been canvassed here by the finance chair, where he explained very well that if a motorcycle is to be assembled in Kenya, it is not subject to some of these taxes.
Order.
But she is misleading the nation by making it look like this exists in the finance bill, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, kindly find her out of order according to the provisions of our standing...
Order. Thank you. Unfortunately, KJ, she has already left the floor, so I cannot make a ruling against her. Secondly, honorable members, you have a bill before you. You also have a report. Order members on their feet, take your seats. You have a bill before you. You also have a report of the committee. The mover of the bill extensively made reference to the report, said this has been dropped, this has been dropped, this has been dropped. You may be convinced, you may not be convinced. When you are debating, make your reference to the bill. You're also at liberty to make reference to the report. Nobody will be tailored to have one track. Make your reference to the bill, make your reference to the report. What I will not allow you to do is to say things that are neither in the bill nor in the report, the way Mama Zamzam was trying to do. Wachira Karani.
Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Millie Odhiambo, what's your point of order?
Thank you for your guidance, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I'm just standing with a lot of due respect and concern over what you have just said. Mr. Speaker, first I want to thank you for giving us guidance and direction that we can make reference to the bill and to the report. Mr. Speaker, one of the rules of debating in this House is you can go outside those two so long as you make a link with what is in the report and what is in the bill. But when we are being told that I must speak in that narrow sense, Mr. Speaker, we are being gagged.
Order, Honorable Millie.
We are feeling gagged.
Take your seat. Honorable Millie, nobody's being gagged. The rules of debate are very clear. You can make conjecture. You can make reference to matters known to you. But when you are challenged by a colleague, you have a duty to respond and respond relevantly. The Speaker is not here to gag anybody, and nobody will be gagged, including you, Millie. All right? Wachira Karani. Yes, Junet Mohammed.
Mr. Speaker, you have guided very well, Mr. Speaker, and I want to thank you. But, Mr. Speaker, having said that, can we have...
Order, Ruth Odinga. It is out of order to stand between a member on his feet and the chair.
Yes. Yeah, Mr. Speaker, you have guided us very well. But, Mr. Speaker, members must know that we are debating a bill as it is. The report is giving us proposals on what the committee thinks we need to do. But the bill as it is now is not amended. So when somebody talks about 3% on wheelbarrow, 3% on mokokoteni, he is debating in accordance with the way the bill is as this morning. And the bill can only be amended here. The proposals that you did yesterday at the State House can only happen here on this floor. Those were just a press conference. So refer to the bill as it is and refer to the report. So when it is amended in the House is when those things will take effect. Thank you very much.
Order. Otienda Molo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, understanding Order 83, my first point, I think, has just been made by the Honorable Junet. It is important, Mr. Speaker, that the majority, everything that the chairman said in terms of what will be amended is yet to be moved. So we are at liberty to discuss everything on the bill as it is. And in that respect, we cannot be limited. Mr. Speaker, number two, the Honorable Didmas Barasa is wearing an unparliamentary hat. Could you please guide him to be parliamentary? I'll be coming back, Mr. Speaker, on your earlier ruling on these matters, but that will be later. But could the Honorable Didmas Barasa stop wearing that village hat that he's wearing here? Thank you.
Honorable members, the issue of the bill before the House, and I'm sitting here listening to all of you. I listened to the move of the bill. And he said, this bill contains this, but at committee stage, I'll drop it. That becomes part of your Hansard. So when you attack the bill, which you have the right to do, it is only fair also to make reference to what your colleague said. You can still say, Order Wanjala, I am not giving you any CAG rules. I'm simply saying the Hansard is there to bail out people. So when your colleague stands up after you have attacked something and says, when I presented the bill, I already said this, it's legitimate. But everybody debate the bill as is before the House. That is the bill that we are debating. But don't lose sight of the report which you already have, which I encourage you to read. Wachira Karani.
Thank you, Mr.
Wachira
Speaker.
Karani, you have the floor.
Yes, thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I thank you for giving me this opportunity so that I also do my contribution. Mr. Speaker, before this committee gave out the report, Kenyans listened to talk shows, to radios, to newspapers, analysis. That is what they judged the report with. In my constituency, I've visited several places, Mr. Speaker. I've gone to churches. I've gone to trading centers. I've listened to the messages. I've read the messages the people have sent to me. And I can say this without blinking. What has been presented by the committee as the report and what has been spread by the talk shows, they are totally two things that are totally different. Mr. Speaker, on my side, I chose to communicate with my voters. I told them to enumerate the clauses that are contentious, which they did. And they did on 5 contexts. First of all, they complained about the VAT 16% on the bread tax. They also complained about the tax on edible oils. They also complained about the tax on motor vehicle, the 2.5%. They complained about the eco levy, the 5 items. And I promised them that I'm going to approach the Committee on Finance so that those are addressed. I'm very happy this morning because the committee, led by the very able Honorable Kimani, has reviewed all of those. The tax on bread has been removed, the 16%. The 2.5% on motor vehicle levy has been removed. The money transfer have been removed. So me, as I stand, Mr. Speaker, I just want to thank the Committee on Finance for work well done, doing a thorough job, and listening to what we have communicated to them and acting of them. I support, Mr. Speaker.
Minority Leader.
The Honorable Speaker, let me make the following comments concerning the Finance Bill 2024. But I want to pick from where the Honorable Robert Mbui left. You know, Honorable Speaker, we have been around for some time. As a matter of fact, this, I think, is my 12th year in this parliament. And even before that, I was living in Kenya. What is so unique with this government that for 2 years in a row, the matter of finance bill is causing hulabaloo, is causing commotion, is causing pandemonium until young children are coming out the streets. We have had finance bills since 1963. We have had them. We had them during Jomo Kenyatta time. We had them during President Moi's time. We had them during President Kibaki. Recently, we had them during President Uhuru's time. But in this regime, 2 years in a row, the finance bill is causing serious problems to Kenyans. And is exposing the regime as totally insensitive to the plight of the people.
Do you want information from Kamket?
Certainly no, Honorable Speaker. How can Honorable Kamket inform me, Honorable Speaker? Really, no. So, Honorable Speaker, that is the question we must ask ourselves. And then it again raises the issue. who advises this government? Who are the real advisors? In terms of economics, in terms of finance management, leave alone politics. Politics we can deal with later. But who advises this government? Because it seems to make mistake after mistake, mistake after mistake, mistake after mistake, Honorable Speaker. Following the outcry that happened after the 2023 finance bill was unveiled, I had imagined, I had thought that this government would be the wiser this time around. What we see is actually a worst case. As they say, the more things change, the more they remain the same. Honorable Speaker, I have read the bill in its entirety. I have similarly read the report of the committee chaired by my very good friend, Honorable Kimani Kuria. Honorable Speaker, if you look at the report of the committee and together with the amendments it is proposing to make on the bill, then you come to the conclusion that actually the character, the structure of the bill is actually changing fundamentally. Fundamentally. And this flies on the face of the provisions of Standing Order 48. Honorable Speaker, at some point perhaps I would be calling upon you to consider asking the chair to withdraw the bill and introduce a new one. Because the character is changing. And why is the character changing, Honorable Speaker? Honorable Speaker, under Article 201 of the Constitution, specifically 201 sub-article A, on the matter of principles that govern or guide public finance management. Public finance management. I don't know what is itching, Honorable Soro. Honorable Speaker, one of the principles, some of the principles that should guide the management of public finance, openness, accountability, and including public participation in financial matters. If you can come out of the blues and tell us that now these things that we had introduced in the bill, these taxes that we had introduced in the bills, we are now removing them. It is basically going against the principles of public finance management. You are turning a public finance bill into a personal property that you can change at whims. Honorable Speaker.
Yes, Chairman of...
Honorable Speaker.
Order, Minority Leader. Chairman.
Honorable Speaker, again, on a point of order on misinformation. The leader of minority clearly read the PFM Act and talked about then if changes are made, the allegations making then significantly that bill would have to be drafted. Then the question on public participation remains. Then does it mean that he is purporting that everything that the public says is just an exercise in futility and should not change? Otherwise, then why were we involving taxpayers' money and time to reason to the members of the public if we cannot propose changes on the bill?
Minority Leader. Proceed. Give him the mic. You are giving the next. Give him his mic.
Anyway, just come. Honorable Speaker, obviously, with all the tremendous possible respect, that was not a point of order. The Honorable Chair can actually advance that argument when he gets time to reply. Honorable Speaker, let me proceed this way. That Kenyans are already overtaxed. In fact, if you look at Kenya vis-a-vis the rest of the world, you would be forgiven to conclude that Kenyans are some of the most taxed human beings on earth. And therefore, any responsible government would be looking at ways to lessen the tax burden on Kenyans, not to increase it, Honorable Speaker, as this bill is attempting to do. Honorable Speaker, in spite of the recommendations in the report, which look very flowery, Honorable Speaker, we have always been reminded that the devil is in the details. I am aware, even though this is not part of the finance bill, that there are plans to increase the levy on roads maintenance. I know, of course, the amendment will come separately. Yes. The moment you increase the road maintenance levy by even a shilling, leave alone the 9 shillings being proposed, the ripple effect is enormous in all sectors of the economy. And the loser is the common Kenyan taxpayer. Honorable Speaker. And therefore, this is a case of taking with one hand, giving with one hand, and taking back with another hand. It's not helping the situation, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, this economy has become too hostile for foreign investors, indeed, even for local investors. We have got documented cases of manufacturers who have shifted base from Kenya to our neighboring countries as a result of this unbearable tax burden that keeps shifting. Actually, you can never be sure, because it is so unpredictable that no sensible investor can actually put their money in this country. To make matters worse, we are witnessing what could be compared to the state capture that happened during the President Jacob Zuma's regime in South Africa. Honorable Speaker, and I will explain shortly. Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, if you take the case of the manufacturing sector, and specifically the steel and cement manufacturing sector, that sector is now under total control. Who is being assisted as we watch? Indeed, Parliament is complicit. We have a case where this one particular manufacturer is the only person who has the capacity to manufacture billets which are used in the steel manufacture. And actually clinker, which is also used in the manufacture of cement. To make it worse, this same manufacturer, who has got the support of these people, Honorable Speaker, he is compelling his competitors to buy from him raw materials. To make it worse, he is compelling them to buy at a minimum. That for you to buy from me billet or clinker, you must buy quantities worth minimum of 100,000 US dollars. And you must pay me in US dollars. And he delivers when he wants. Do you expect him to compete favorably with the rest? I will name him. It is the owner of Devki Steel Company and the owner of Simba Cement. I think his name is Guru. That one. We must shame these people. We must name and shame these people. If we are to rescue our country from the clutches of state capture, Honorable Speaker, we must do so. We must do so.
Now, I am happy. I am happy at the debate and the information that is coming out from my point of order is 91. 91. That my friend, the leader, I would like him to substantiate and give us, he said he must buy from me, he must do this and this. Where did he say? Where is that factual information? You can do better by giving us, a record of what he said, other than hearsay, Honorable Speaker. You can do better. And then just say things.
Order, Honorable, both of you are veering off the track. Let's avoid the temptation to besmirch people who cannot defend themselves on the floor. Go on, Minority Leader.
Yes, please. Sorry.
So I will leave that at that. But Honorable Baya, stop holding brief for these characters. You know, it doesn't help. Let me tell you, from my experience in this parliament, they'll never really assist you in the constituency. Honorable Speaker, you know where we have now reached is a situation of helplessness. No wonder young boys and girls are coming out in their numbers on the streets and facing police truncheons and water cannon and tear gas, something which is unprecedented, Honorable Speaker. It reminds me of a play by the celebrated Professor Francis Mbuga, that is Betrayal in the City. Honorable Speaker, I know you are a literature person. If you read that play,
I read it long
you read
ago.
it, yes. There's a character by the name Jasper Wendu, okay? He was in a situation, he was actually lamenting that we have waited for independence. We were hopeful for good things. Independence came. And now we have got nothing else to look up to or forward to, Honorable Speaker.
He has 15 minutes. Has he finished 15
That
minutes?
is the situation.
Your time is up. Finish up in 1 minute.
Children are finding themselves in this country. They have already lost hope. They are not seeing any hope in us as their leaders. And therefore, they have taken it upon themselves to come out to the streets to defend their rights, Honorable Speaker. And as they do so, those who are in charge of the instruments of the state, especially the Inspector General of Police, must be cautioned not to misuse those instruments to interfere with the enjoyment of constitutional rights by Kenyans who are free to picket, to demonstrate, to do sit-ins, and indeed to capture Parliament.
Time up.
Because Parliament seemingly has become rogue. Honorable Speaker, I oppose.
Osoro.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, listening to my colleagues from the other side, Honorable Speaker, one need not to be a rocket scientist to know that they are playing populist politics as far as this report is concerned. You'll be left wondering whether they are contributing to the same debate, to the report before us, or they are giving us theories and stories that are unnecessary, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I'll qualify my statement with these points. Last week, when the budget estimates were presented before this House, Honorable Speaker, and even when the chair for budget was highlighting some vote on the budget, Honorable Speaker, I saw honorable members across the political divide very happy. He did say that 500 million shillings has been added to NGAF. The honorable chair went ahead and said that CDF has gotten an extra 10 billion shillings, that each constituency here will be getting an extra 30 million shillings. And everybody here was very happy. In fact, the honorable members who represent counties, commonly known as the honorable women reps, even did a post appreciating His Excellency the President, saying that, Your Excellency, we are very happy you've added us 500 million. We pray that next year you even add the same amount or even higher to that amount, to the 500 million. Honorable Speaker, I do not understand. You cannot eat your cake and still have it. You cannot say on the other hand, that you are supporting what the executive is doing in terms of funding you, what touches you, but you cannot show them where they'll get this money from, Honorable Speaker.
What is your point of order and under what standing order?
Mr. Speaker, I may not quote the point of order, but mentioning
then you are out
women
of order.
reps in this budget, Mr. Speaker.
Order.
Honorable Osoro,
Order, Honorable Mbayu. I have made it very clear for orderly debate. I'll give you every point you want. Tell me which standing order. The order, you've lost your chance. Go on, Osoro.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. So, Honorable Speaker, what I was saying is, with the additional budget, with the additional needs, because everybody was very happy that 30 million per constituency is going to be added in their constituency, 50 million to every constituency, Honorable Speaker, then it means that, and considering the tax base and our taxes going back into the years, then it means, Honorable Minority Leader, that there was need for us to expand our tax base so that we get that money that you need for development. The other day, Honorable Speaker, a member here raised the issue with the intern teachers. Intern teachers who were suspended the other day, and some who are on contractual basis and need to be employed on permanent basis. Honorable Speaker, that needs money. Our collection is not sufficient to meet the 4 trillion budget that was read in this House, Honorable Speaker. Then that raises some questions, Honorable Speaker, in this House. What do we do? Do we raise, do we continue borrowing? Do we raise our borrowing ceiling, Honorable Speaker, and start looking for money from the external sources? No. We need to expand our tax base, but not at the expense of Kenyans. We expand our it's actually a double benefit. We expand our tax base while focusing on manufacturing and local production of our things, Honorable Speaker. And I will single out 2 things, 2 very important factors, Honorable Speaker. What this report by the Finance Committee proposes is to increase the excise duty of China or other countries. That excise duty is going to be increased on only fully assembled motorcycles. What does that mean? Or finished product. What does that mean? The locally assembled motorcycles here will have a competitive price against those ones. Factories will have increased in our industries here, in industrial area. People will want to assemble the factories for motorcycles at industrial area. Then that means we will grow our employment that we promised our people. It will have created jobs in this country. That is a positive, Honorable Speaker. Number 2, Honorable Speaker, this report by the Finance Committee proposes to increase excise duty on imported table eggs, Honorable Speaker. I mean, it doesn't make sense, and I don't see Honorable Clive here, who is a good poultry farmer. He's got over 10,000 chicks that he rears in his farm and sells eggs across Gusii region, Honorable Speaker. And he can tell you, his competitors get eggs from Uganda. His competitors get eggs, import eggs from Tanzania. What does this report propose, Honorable Speaker? This report proposes to increase excise duty on the eggs imported from those neighboring countries so that we can be able to grow our local market, our local farmers, Honorable Speaker, in Muranga and including Honorable Gisairo, who is a poultry farmer, Honorable Speaker. Then on the positive side, this very report removes the excise duty on the eggs that are brought for hatchery. The eggs that are brought for production, not table eggs. When fertile eggs, and I'm being guided by Honorable Owen Bayer, they're called fertile eggs. I hope you're right. So, Honorable Speaker, Honorable Speaker, when we are debating on this report, it's important for us to also be very factual and tell Kenyans the truth. You cannot say that, on the other hand, you want Kenyans or this government to look for jobs or to create jobs, and on the other hand, you want to continue encouraging importation of goods. Can you imagine, Honorable Speaker, up to this time and era, we are still depending on sanitary pads and diapers from India and China. What does this report do? Increases excise duty on the finished product of the sanitary pads and finished product of diapers to grow the local manufacturers. That was the proposal by the Kenya Manufacturers Association, because they also complained. We listened to them, the committee listened to them, to grow them here. Have you ever asked yourself here?
Mzamo, what is your point of order and on what standing order?
Standing order number 83, Mheshimiwa Spika. Mwenzangu amekuwa akizungumza akikadiria ule ugavi ambao umetolewa katika finance bill. Mheshimiwa Spika, ametaja ugavi ambao unakuja kwa viti vya kina mama na ule ambao umekwenda kwa wabunge. Mheshimiwa Spika, ukipiga hesabu ugavi huu milioni 500 unaenda kwa wananchi, sio kwa viti vya kina mama. Unaenda kwa wananchi, wanaenda kupewa mambo ya empowerment ili waweze kukuza uchumi. Mheshimiwa Spika, pale ni mambo inaenda katika ukuzaji. Lakini zile pesa ambazo sisi tunauliza Mheshimiwa Spika ni zile ambazo zimeenda kwa makadirio ambayo hayaleti uchumi juu, ni mambo ya starehe. Kwa hiyo Mheshimiwa Osoro, usiweze kudanganya wananchi ukasema wameletewa milioni 500 wakati mkono wa pili umechukua mabilioni. Mheshimiwa Spika, asante sana.
That is an argument. That is an argument. Go on.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I was really struggling to understand what she was saying. But what ideally I meant when I said about the 500 million and 10 billion by NGCDF, I meant that...
I have ruled her out of order. Proceed
okay.
with the argument.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. So what I am saying, Honorable Speaker, is that it is important for us not to just whip emotions and talk populist politics at the expense of manufacturers that are setting pace in industrial, Honorable Speaker. And Honorable Speaker, this is very important, Honorable Speaker. Looking at the argument by my colleagues, and even going by the report that has been proposed, Honorable Speaker, by the committee, even in this proposal that has been reduced and some other duties that have been dropped or proposals that have been dropped, there is a ripple effect on our budget. Then that means we lose about 53 billion in terms of estimates. The question this House should be asking itself, to which vote do we drop that 53 million? Do we drop by the 10 billion from the NGCDF? Do we drop 500 million from the NGAF amount? Or do we drop 15 billion that was allocated, extra 15 billion that was allocated to the counties? That should be the question that we should be talking about. But all these other stories and people complaining and raising issues unnecessarily, Honorable Speaker, it is actually wrong. Let's restrict ourselves to the report. This is not politics. You all know this is very important for this country, and it has an effect to our growth and the growth of our common mwananchi. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, and for that reason, I support the report.
Rachel Nyamai.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me an opportunity to contribute. Honorable Speaker, I support this report, and I have listened, Honorable Speaker, to the chair as he moved the report, and to the vice chair, the Honorable Ambassador Benja, as he supported. And Honorable Speaker, I am convinced that I cannot be interested and very happy with the budget, and at the same time, I pretend to be unhappy with the finance bill that is supposed to fund that budget. Honorable Speaker, the proposals that have been given by this committee to amend are making this bill very good and highly acceptable, especially after dealing with the matter of bread and also dealing with the matter of taxation on motor vehicle, among others. Honorable Speaker, I also support this bill because it gives additional money to the counties, Honorable Speaker. Counties have been getting around 385 billion. That is the highest that we have ever seen. And this bill, Honorable Speaker, gives an additional money to the counties, approximately 15 billion, Honorable Speaker. I'm seated to a very sharp CPA, Honorable Bandi, and he has told me that if you are not sure of the figure, say approximately. Approximately, Honorable Speaker, 15 billion to our counties. And this money is going to our road projects, health, agriculture, markets, water. What else do I want, Honorable Speaker? I want money to go to Kitui, to Makueni, to Machakos, to Embu County, Honorable Speaker, and listening to the Honorable Cecily Mbarire, Honorable Speaker. She says that the most difficult thing to do is to raise money for the counties. On source revenue, OSR, Honorable Speaker, this bill is in the right direction to giving additional money to the counties. Honorable Speaker, this bill provides additional money to CDF, the best fund in this country. Honorable members across the divide, the best monitored, the most evaluated, the most successful is getting 30 million, Honorable Speaker, per constituency, Honorable Speaker. Members on the side where I'm seated, well, where I used to be in Azimio, members who are seated on this side, Honorable Speaker, should be the ones supporting this motion because of additional money to CDF. Because our children are going to get more money. Honorable Speaker, yesterday, I watched a girl that I've been paying fees for. Let me stick to the motion. Which standing order?
Yes, Kajwang, what's your point of order?
On a point of order, the gracious lady that has just spoken, the last I checked, she was in Azimio through Jubilee. Could it be that those positions have changed, or could it just be a misleading statement, Mr. Speaker?
That is not a point of order. Go on.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for your wisdom. I knew that you wanted to distract me. Honorable Speaker, I was just saying that I watched one of the girls that I pay fees for, and she was in the street, and she had written a message to me the previous day. And I asked her, you told me that it was about taxation on motor vehicle and bread. Why are you in the street? Honorable Speaker, I have just shared the video with CPA Bandi. The girl told me that she was not in the street concerning the bill, that she was doing TikTok, Honorable Speaker. And she was swinging, Honorable Speaker, very nicely. She told me that she was there because she wanted to get views for TikTok, Honorable Speaker. So, Honorable Speaker, and I'm going to show you, Honorable, she says that she cannot find the stones because the community that provides stones was missing in action. So she was wondering where the stones were. Honorable Speaker, going back to this bill, it is important to note that our finance bill for the previous year has made Kenya the 27th fastest growing country in the world, Honorable Speaker, in the world. You need to look at this Financial Times, members seated on my side, that Kenya is the 27th fastest growing country in the world because of the bill that we passed last year. Honorable Speaker, also, because of passing a good bill led by the Chair Finance, Honorable Speaker, Nairobi Stock Exchange is the best stock exchange in the world. That is not according to Rachel Nyamai. That is not according to the Honorable Speaker of the National Assembly. It is not according to the President of this country, Honorable Dr. William Samoei Ruto. It is according to the Financial Times that the Nairobi Exchange is the best in the world. Honorable Speaker, education is an equalizer, Honorable Speaker. This bill, Honorable Speaker, proposes approximately 658 billion to education. Some of us found our way here because we went to school. Our parents never saw a classroom. My own parents, Honorable Speaker, never stepped in a classroom. My father he was not literate. He was an assistant chief who was not literate. So I am only here because I got education. Let us support this bill for the 558 billion that is going to education, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I support this bill because it is giving an opportunity to our industries. We are saying that for a phone that has been assembled out here must be taxed. But the one that is produced by 4 companies, Honorable Speaker, that have set up here in Kenya must be given an opportunity, and that is the one that is not going to be put through taxation. So we would like these companies to continue working so that they can hire our boys and girls, so that we can have technicians working there. Honorable Speaker, concerning sanitary towels, also, it is the sanitary towels and pampers that are from outside the country. Those who are setting up here, producing here, hiring our children are not going to be taxed, and this is an effort towards a job creation. Honorable Speaker, this bill also is proposing additional money to electricity, last mile connectivity, 50 million per constituency. Honorable members, what else do we want? We must tell Kenyans the truth, that this country has made a decision that we need to light up this country. We need to extend the working hours. We need to ensure that there is energy in my villages, in Motomo, in Ekoda, in Kanziko, in Kasala. They must have power so that they are able to work longer and they are able to provide jobs. Honorable Speaker, every country aspires to have a net budget. And Honorable Speaker, I want to go to the figures, and I'll be careful, again, as advised by my friend here, who I have looked at his eyes, Honorable Speaker. I have never looked at Bandy's eyes nicely. But today I have looked direct into the eyes of the Honorable Bandy, and his eyes are very good, Mr. Speaker. And he has told me that let me finish, Honorable Speaker. 2021, 2022, the deficit was approximately 747 billion. 2020, 2022, 2023, Honorable Speaker, the deficit